students. I'm Dr. Abhishek Bajpayee from Government Shaheed Rajiv Pandey College, Bhatagaon, Raipur. This is my third and the final section of the video of second semester English Literature Prose section. The name of the lesson or the book which we are dealing is Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince. So I have selected few questions for you from the point of view of your examination. So let's discuss these questions. Question number 1 is, discuss in your own words the need and importance of liberating Italy from the barbarians, or explain the need of gaining Italy's glory. Both the questions are the basic essence of the books, because the book is only written to free Italy from the barbarians as well as maintain a goodwill to become a standard state and maintain its glorious past. So the answer is need of a new prince in Italy. As we all know, the book is dedicated to Lorenzo de' Medici, which is the best person in the world for Niccolo Machiavelli, who can regain Italy's lost glory and who can fulfill the dreams of people, who can keep safe the people of Italy with self-respect. So the need of new prince in Italy. This is first section. According to Machiavelli, there was a need of a new prince for the redemption and liberation of Italy. Italy was in need of a new prince who would control, command, and unite the people of Italy. He suggests that only Lorenzo de' Medici is the ray of hope for Italy. He only can bring back the greatness and glory of Italy. The people of Israel were slaves, but they had Moses. The people of Persia were also oppressed. Therefore, a great prince can only help native people. Here he suggests that a great prince should avoid mercenaries or hired soldiers, for they are not loyal to the country, as well as they only are in search of their personal benefits. Italy's redemption. Machiavelli suggests that Lorenzo de' Medici is special for us. God has ordered him to work for the people of Italy, but he was rejected by his fortune. The people of Italy were fed up by violence and slavery of the barbarians. He only could free them. The nature of Italians. In this section, Machiavelli explains us the nature of the people of Italy. He speaks the people of Italy are courageous and loyal. There were shortage of leadership and initiative. We have seen in the past that Italians were superior in strength, ability, and cleverness. They lacked in military power. It was only the weakness and failure of the leaders. The native troops. Italy has now to rely only on the native troops. But the rulers depend on mercenaries and hired soldiers. The dependency on the mercenaries or hired soldiers is not good for the country. This was the biggest fault and the main reason for the downfall of Italy. Machiavelli, in the end, suggests that a wise prince should show his ambitions for military power. Latest weapon and strategy should be priority of the Prince of Italy. A good prince should occasionally meet the traders of his kingdom to gain the confidence. he should maintain his dignity firmly and carefully. Now we come to the second question, that is, discuss in your own words the duty of a prince related with military powers. These may also be called a guideline for a prince, that how he should gain whatever he wants and how he should protect his people. The first section here is the main duty of a prince. Machiavelli points out that the main duty of a prince is related with military matters. He should consider the need of social institution and military discipline. He should also rise up to his royal position. The prince should never give more attention to his personal luxuries. The prince should always remain well prepared in the art of war. The second section here is the measures to maintain a kingdom. In this section, Machiavelli comes up with a few examples. Francesco Sforza became Duke of Milan from a position of a common man because he always remained well armed and prepared for any war. His successors were not alert, so they were degraded. As a prince should always know the art of living safely and successfully. Third one is necessary qualities for a successful prince. He says that a ruler should be virtuous. He should not be greedy of gold. A generous ruler is also loved and respected. A good prince should never think of property or women of his kingdom. He should be generous and live a miserable life to set an example in front of the people of his country. Other qualities of prince. The last section is other qualities of prince. An ideal prince should be bold and courageous. He should be kind-hearted. He should not come in the way of the religion of other persons of his kingdom. He should be alert and should protect himself. On the other hand, a good prince should make his best efforts for the well-being of the common people. He should work continuously and carefully for the safety and welfare of all the people living in his state. And the last and the final question which we'll deal is, provide the example of various kingdoms who did see a revolt after its emperor's death. This question is very important because Machiavelli, in his entire 26 chapters, he provides us various examples from time to time about other countries, other rulers, about their glory, about their victory, and also about their downfall. The first section here is the kingdom of Darius. It is a matter of difficulties to maintain a newly conquered state. Alexander the Great conquered the kingdom of Darius. After a few months he left the place and Darius died. But the successors of Alexander controlled the situation and there was no revolt. They were united. A few disputes were found among them, but they solved it themselves. And there were no revolt by the people or by the army. This was an ideal situation. Second one is the Turkish kingdom. The Turkish kingdom was ruled by one master with the help of their servants. His kingdom was divided into parts under separate rulers. They were appointed and transferred by their master. Due to this rotation, they were shifted and there was no scope for revolt. The Turkish emperor made a very nice policy that not to keep a ruler in a state for a very long time, so that he could not get that much time to raise his ambitions, and he was shifted to some other state. This was the proper and best way to control the subordinates. The final section is of the French kingdom. The French kingdom had hereditary rulers that came from certain families with their rights. The rights were allotted to their families, to their ancestors, and these rights were moving on and on to the generations. The king had no right to remove them until they proved a danger to the state or to his kingdom. The danger of uniting the kingdom was always present here. Any person could enter into the French kingdom easily with the favor of some baron or nobleman. There was no command or control to check other people, the people from other country who wanted to come to that kingdom. In the meantime, these people who entered here by paying bribe to the noblemen or some barons, these people started trouble from time to time. In this comparison, we understand that the kingdom of Darius left by Alexander was best. The Turkish kingdom was in the second place, but the French kingdom and its all policies regarding its noblemen and baron were not good. So a prince must always be alert while ruling his country. So these were few questions from the point of view of the examination. I think you might be benefited from the video. Thank you.